Henry, I'd love to. Some Russian. He's not going to get a work permit. That Russian guy. Not sure why John sent him through. Hello. Oh, David, Chairman David. Yes, sorry. I know we haven't talked very much, have we? My phone sounds good. Well, you know what? The iPhone, very, very 2020. I'm living in the future now with a iPhone. I think they call it. Yeah, I know. Sammy York. Yeah. Yeah, I know they got a bid for him from some. Well, reject it. Reject it. It's not worth it. How much? Accept it. That's fine, David. We'll take that bid. Yeah. Yeah. Can we go professional? We can. Excellent. Beautiful. Thanks, mate. Well, I didn't want to sell him because we've just put the name up behind me, but that can't be rejected. Maybe I should check if it's a prank. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Park to Prem. Today, it's episode number 19. As you've seen by the intro, something crazy happened in January. Let's just talk about it right away. Southampton bid on Sam York. The board accepted it. I had no say in the matter whatsoever. When it happened, I was pretty shocked. I shadow played it. I went back and with my graphics card I can do flashback recording of a couple of minutes. So what you're watching on screen is the moment that it happened, and it came off the back of a few teams bidding for Sam York. I got a bit annoyed by the £100,000 bids, so I just thought, screw it, I'll put a stupid asking price of 20 million. And like a continue later, they'd bid a stupid amount of money, 11.5 million. Honestly, I didn't think anyone was going to match that. It's an obscene amount of money. It's a silly amount of money for a team at our level. I mean, last episode we were talking about the fact that having close to 2 million was kind of a club-changing amount of money. The money that we've received for Sam York is it is silly, and it's making me consider, do I want to stay at Boston now for the long haul? Do I maybe want to try and get them promoted once and then maybe try and topple Boston, or do I want to try and reinvent this club from the top down? Maybe change things so I only sign British players, maybe even only English players, really try and make a challenge for myself. But obviously the Sam York money, it changes so much. The club has 14 million in the bank. The other big sale actually was James Evans, who was the striker we signed from Chester last year, you might remember. He was playing for Chester. We picked him up for free because he just wasn't contracted to them correctly, and we have sold him on for close to £1 million, which in itself would be a stupid amount of money, but obviously when compared to the other deal, it just looks poxy by comparison. As a result of getting this massive amount of money, I've asked the club to go professional. We're buying our stadium, we're improving the youth facilities, we're improving the training facilities. The whole club is going to get a big shake-up, but yeah, it does leave me with some questions, because I do worry that it might, I don't want to say it'll be too easy now, because we might not get promoted this year the way things are going, but the wage budget is now at £72,000, just the way it gets distributed, the money that we received. We've got a transfer budget of 6 million. We are a Vanarama National League team. I mean, the way that I see it, this would probably never happen in real life. Obviously, post-Brexit, British players have a value. I can only assume that Sam York has the most insane potential. I kind of want to wait and see what becomes of him now. Is he actually ever going to be worth that kind of money? You can see since he's gone to Southampton, he's now worth 6 million. But I've got all kinds of thoughts whizzing around in my head. The first being, I don't want this to be too easy. Is there a way I can make it more difficult? Do we move clubs and make Boston kind of the enemy? I still feel like we might need to get one promotion, and I say that because I did actually apply for another job. And the job that I applied for, which I did wonder if I was going to have to come back for an episode kind of sooner than I have, was against Lincoln City, who are like Boston's local rivals, fairly big club, currently in League One in real life, were relegated in the save game. And, they sacked their manager. They didn't even shortlist me for the job. So despite the fact that I am now studying my Continental C, despite the fact that I am slowly building up a reputation, similar to the Bolton situation, I'm just not even getting a chance to, get a job, which is a little bit sad, really. Anyway, you will notice the date in the top right is the 11th of March. This is perhaps the most number of games I've ever played between episodes ever. There have been 14. So rather than go through these all, let's look at the obvious standout things. Firstly, FA Trophy. Why can it not have a separate name? The FA Trophy. We are still in, which is fantastic. We won in the 4th round against Boreham Wood. We beat Blythe Spartans. We just beat Halifax a couple of weeks ago. And we are in the semi-final against Dagenham and Redbridge. And whilst obviously it'd be a very cool trophy to win, it's not the be-all or end-all. Don't think I'm going to do the semi-finals. I think I'm most likely, if we, can hopefully make it to the final, to do that towards the end of the season, possibly with a playoff run. And I say possibly with a playoff run. Minor spoilers incoming, everyone. We are busy when in the league, and it's not looking particularly rosy for us. Of course, at the end of December, we were taking on West Ham, and you can see in the month of January, well, we sold our star man and we only won 1 game. It wasn't a great January, but since then we've kicked on well. The big standout results really, the big wins against Cheltenham, Dartford, and then beating Wrexham 2-1 was huge. Wrexham are currently top of the table, so to beat them away from home 2-1 was nice. In fact, you know what, for this one, we'll show the highlights. So yeah, Liddell scored from the penalty spot. I think they then replied via a long-range free kick, if I'm not mistaken, in the second half. And in the 72nd minute, we made it 2-1. Good little goal for Liddell, his second of the game. And that was a confidence builder. We followed that up with a win against Barnet. Havant and Waterlooville then beat us 6-2. Mad game. I don't know what happened in this one. It was 1-1 at half-time. We were winning 2-1. Suddenly it was 6-2 after 90 minutes. We also have taken on Hartlepool, where we got a somewhat disappointing draw. And most recently, we beat Chesterfield, which sets us up for today, where we're going to be taking on Solihull Moors, who currently sit second in the league. Just to look at the league table, with 9 games left of the season, we're currently 9 points behind Wrexham. We actually have the fewest defeats in the league. We just draw too many games, which is a bit annoying, isn't it? You can see here Barrett leading the way when it comes to the assists, or at least, I guess he's technically not leading the way, but he's in amongst the leaders. 10 for him. Simon also has the third highest average rating in the league. Counting is hard, everyone. And in general, things are going pretty well. Of course, with the big sales, I did want to sign a new player or two, and I have got some new toys to play with. 2 very good players, as well as the 2 Northern Irish chaps. You might remember me buying them and saying I've made a mistake. William Cassidy looks very good. Don't think he is a mistake now that he's actually joined us. He looks exceptional at 17 years old. Very excited to see how he might be able to improve. The other players who have joined us are Mark Cooper, who is a very, very good striker. 18 finishing. If only his physicals weren't absolutely awful, I'd be really confident that he's going to be a massive addition to the team. I still think he can be a massive addition, but not really as a starter just yet. And then, well, 2 players who I've signed for not insignificant sums of money in one instance, the other maybe more so, but 2 players who have actually featured in the first team. And this is Iolo Salisbury. That's a great name. Or was it Salisbury? Who knows? I just like the name Iolo. Definitely not how you say it, but it sounds cool, doesn't it? He is a 16-year-old centre mid. He was playing in the Welsh Premier League as a 16-year-old. He even made appearances aged 15. He was playing in the Welsh under 18 or under 17 setup. The youngest of the Welsh national teams, under 18s. Is he still in them? Yeah, he is. You can see here. Really, really good player. Exceptional. You might wonder, how does he compare to Sam York? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Here they are head to head. I mean, considering he's 2 years younger and we've signed him for under £1,000, I think he's a great little addition. He's already scored his first goal for the club, so a man with a bright future, I do think, the Welshman. And while the other player that we've signed, that you may have noticed, is Jamie Kearns, who joined us from Fylde, who of course were one of our divisional rivals last year. Stumbled across this guy because he was in the Vanarama National North team of the league, the best 11, the Media Dream 11. He's very, very blooming good, the 18-year-old. He started at Fylde. He played 30 games for them, which is, again, really not an insignificant number of games for a player of his age. He is naturally a centre attacking mid, but he can slot in on the right-hand side of midfield, despite being left-footed, or in the position that I'm looking to train him in, he can play as a bit of a striker. I think he's got that in his arsenal. Great off the ball, great composure, great finishing, for this level at least. Physicals are good, determined personality. I think there's a lot of reason to think he could be a really good supportive striker. If we do look at things here, you can see where they've been playing across the kind of season so far. Bit of a mixed bag of roles for Jamie. Not all of these games for us, actually. I think this is a mixture of our games and the ones that he played at his previous club. But for us, has very much been the right winger in our team. So yeah, that's a little bit of a catch-up as to what's been going on. It's been a bit of a mad one. We've applied for a job. We've sold a player for 11 million. We've signed some new youngsters. And, well, the league picture really hasn't changed a great deal, but we do look like we're in a good little spot for the playoffs. And just as a reminder, the top 2 teams in the playoff spots, the second and third place teams, they go in at the semi-final stage, whereas the 4 lower teams, 4th through 7th, they enter in the quarter-finals of the playoffs. So it is in our interest to finish as high as we can. Today we are taking on Solihull Moors. They want to get promoted. They want to be challenging Wrexham. They are going to want to win this game. So a bit of a test for us here, but also a chance for us to prove our worth. In terms of the team, this is how we line up right now. Unfortunately, Sam Barrett is injured. Our go-to left mid, the player with all the assists, unavailable for selection today. Elsewhere in the team, though, things look pretty good. Me is, of course, in goal. Duxbury, Simon, Quansah, kind of standard defensive setup. Prado returns at right back. I've not been wowed by Prado since he joined us. I had high hopes. To be fair, before Fossey got injured, I was back playing Marlon again. I feel like I keep coming back to Marlon and then he gets injured or suspended or something. Right now he's out for up to 2 weeks, so Prado gets the nod. The midfield is obviously Sam Yorkless, although for the latter half of his time at the club, he wasn't even really starting for us. With Barrett injured, Charles Zago comes into play on the left-hand side, the young Ghanaian. We also have Dronfield and, of course, Kamwa playing together at centre-mid. I feel like Kamwa has very much made this position his own. For the first time, I think, ever at Boston, we have a player with above a 7.0 average rating at centre-mid. Never thought I'd see the day. DKM out on the right has been superb this year. Since he joined us, looked top drawer, 9 goals in the league. Not a huge amount of assists, but if he keeps goal scoring, I can't really complain about him not providing enough. And up front, it's Burrow and it's Liddell, who they've been a bit hit and miss this year. Burrow is leading the way in the goal scoring charts with 25 in all competitions and 19 in the league. And you can see here, just looking at Adam Liddell, 16 goals for him, really shouldn't be scoffed at, but of course between them they set the bar and the expectations very, very high for this season. So anyway, let's get into this game. It's a big, big match for us. I'm hoping that we can get a result. I have still got slim hopes of winning the league, of getting that automatic promotion spot, but the more things go on, the more likely the playoff feels. And I think, as is testament by our FA Trophy run, and I guess our FA Cup run, and the fact we have the fewest defeats in the league, although we draw a lot of games, we're very difficult to beat, and I do hope that that can really play in our favour in the playoffs, if that's the route that we have to try and navigate to get promoted this year. I think we've got a very good team that matches up against all the other teams in the league really well. A lot of teams at this level, they'll have 1 or 2 players in on loan from Premier League clubs, from Championship clubs, who are top quality players, but they can't really, do much for the team as a whole, whereas our team is very well rounded. We're not built around young individuals that are in on loan. It's very much our squad. And I think that kind of shows when we go head-to-head against these teams that have 1 or 2 standout players. But yeah, the fact that we've only lost, I think, 5 or 6 games in 37 in the league is absolutely insane. We just need to stop drawing everyone. I never thought I'd say it. I love drawing in real life, but we can't do it in Football Manager. And DKM, you've got to score opportunities like that, son. Maybe Prado can do something. Kamwa hits it. DKM's in the way again. What are you doing, you donkey? Misses the opportunity, blocks the shot for us. Of course, this is quite a good little test, really, against the team in second. They're only 1 or 2 points, I think, behind Wrexham towards the top of the table. So they're there for the taking, and I feel like if we win this kind of game, I will continue to bang the drum of possible automatic promotion, even though I know the reality is it's looking significantly less likely than it has been at any other point, really, this season. Over the last kind of 14 games, of which 11 have been in the league, I feel like we've done well against the big teams, and then we've struggled against teams we probably should beat quite convincingly and just dropped, 2 points here and there with unnecessary draws. Anyway, at the break, it's 0-0. Not been a shot on target. Not really any highlights to speak of either. DKM on a booking is a bit concerning. I'm going to bring in Jamie Kearns. What can you do, Jamie? The young player signed from Fylde. I've got a whole host of expectations. And you know what? Let's make it double trouble. Iolo. Not how you say your name, but I'm just going with it. Get on up front. What if it's Lolo? What if the L is weird? No, I'm going with Iolo. It just sounds cool, doesn't it? Anyway, Burrow bringing it forward. Can he dig us out of trouble, Jack? You can't just use the same pun over and over. In front of the gazebo. Fans are expectant. They're on looking. Iolo's there to Dronfield. Now back with Iolo. Back to Dronfield. Oh my word. Oh my, has that not gone over the line? VAR? Goal line tech? It's like Lampard at the World Cup all over again. The PTSD's kicking in. How did that not cross the line? Oh no. 10 minutes left. If they score now, I'm going to be so gutted. It would have been an assist for Iolo. That's offside if he scores. Referee. I feel like a man was offside there who was involved in the play. The linesman hasn't raised his flag. Fortunately for us, they can't hit the target. I need to get shouty here. Demand more. I've got one last sub. One last change. I'm going to bring in Galliani, who sadly for us has actually already agreed to leave the club at the end of the year, which I'm a bit annoyed about, but at the same time, he's never really been a regular starter for us, the Italian. He's always been a bit of a Swiss Army knife of a player who is just on the bench to slot in everywhere. I'm sure we can find a comparable player. It's not like we've got a budget that we really need to stick to anymore. Anyway, Quanta wins it. We are, 1 minute into 3 minutes of added time. Is there a late sting in this tale? Is there a late goal? Kearns is there. Go on, Kearns. Go on, Kearns. Hits it, Jamie Kearns. You are a big, big boy. Oh my word, he does a roly-poly on the spot. I'm not even going to question it. What a goal that is for the 18-year-old. The former filed man. Despite playing out on the right wing, not had a huge impact in any one game. He will be remembered for his impact in this game. A game that has been devoid of any real opportunities for either team. A game bogged down in the midfield. And with our only shot on target, the 18-year-old looks like he's won it for us, unless there is a late sting in the tail here. Prado gets it away. Surely that's that. Referee, blow your whistle. Have you lost it? Have you lost your whistle, Burrow? To Liddell, make it 2. Make it look comfortable in the history books. We will. Never in doubt this result. Never in doubt. It's 2-0. The game is done now. Liddell getting on the score sheet is always nice to see. Edging closer to that 20 goals for the season landmark. And Burrow, nice little through ball. He is our top goal scorer, Burrow, but make no mistake, he chips in with a hell of a lot of assists as well. And I think we deserve that. I'm going to say it now. We deserve that. I don't know if we necessarily do, but 2 golden opportunities at the end of the game and 2 really clinical finishes. Lots of reasons to be positive off the back of that result. I mean, how many games left of the season? 8 now? Looks like Wrexham won, unfortunately. So really all we've done is demolish Solihull Moor's hopes of automatic promotion. But I don't know. I mean, there's 8 games left of the year. Wrexham are 3 wins ahead of us. Our end of season running isn't very difficult by comparison. I have already looked at this. We've got Aldershot, Stockport to a bottom, Dulwich Hamlet in 9th, Boreham Wood and Chester are perhaps the hardest games for us. But then we've got York, Dagenham and Redbridge and Sutton to end the season. I do not see many games there that we should be dropping points in. I want to believe it's possible. I'm going to keep pretending it's possible in my mind until it isn't anymore. You can see Solihull Moors have actually got Wrexham next weekend, so that's an opportunity where one of those 2 teams has to drop points. But, well, we look good at the moment for a playoff spot and potentially the FA Trophy final, which would be nice. It's not the biggest bit of silverware in the world, but in terms of bigging up our rep, if we could do well in that competition, it would be quite beneficial. You can just see here, looking at our manager attributes, they have improved a lot with the coaching licence, so I'm very, very happy about that. And, things are looking pretty rosy here at Boston. I would love, as I mentioned earlier, to hear your thoughts on the Boston United situation front. Like, the money is silly. I'm a bit torn about it, to be honest, because the money is silly. Obviously, it's cool that it's happened. I do quite like the idea of trying to see how far we can take a UK and Irish team only at Boston. Maybe we just invest massively into the infrastructure, just try and build up the most incredible facilities and such that we can. Or do we look to move on? Do I look to get Boston to the Football League, hope that they can then keep up with us, and maybe they become the constant thorn in our side that I kind of developed? I feel like whatever happens, there's really cool possibilities and, outcomes that could happen here. I would like to know your thoughts on it, really, because you guys are the people watching. I would like to know what you would like to see. I know before someone says the inevitable, this would never happen in real life. I completely agree, but Football Manager's a game. The board accepted the bid for me. It's not like I could have rejected the money. The way the game is set up, that's not something I could do, sadly. Ultimately, it makes this say very, very different and very, very unique. Quite where we take it, I guess, is a little up in the air, and I think it's almost one of those things where we have to get to the end of the season, see, you know, where are we in the playoffs, where are we going to be playing next season, what jobs are available, and then kind of make a call from there. But certainly, I'd love to get your early thoughts in the comments. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this video from me. Thank you for watching as always. I hope you have enjoyed it and the intro. If you did, make sure to drop a like on it. And until tomorrow, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.